You believe you make money through effort, but the truth is that money is not something you earn, it's something you tune into. It doesn't come because you chase it, it comes because it recognizes in you the frequency that calls it. Money doesn't understand the language of hard work, it understands the vibration of worthiness. You were always taught that money is physical, tangible, scarce. But what you call currency is only the visible part of an invisible energy that responds to your inner state. When you vibrate fear, the field closes. When you vibrate trust, it opens. Money is not outside. It is reacting to the vibration you sustain. It's not time, effort, or luck that defines prosperity. It's how much your consciousness allows the natural flow of abundance to move through you. Money is not a reward. It's a mirror. It doesn't arrive to complete you, but to reflect who you're being. Think for a moment. What if money never abandoned you, but simply waited for you to become compatible with it? What if scarcity were just the echo of a mind disconnected from its own source? When you understand this, the race ends, because abundance has always stood in the same place within you. From now on, everything you believed about prosperity will begin to dissolve. What comes next is not a technique, it's a remembrance, because true wealth is not created, it is recalled. And this is the moment to remember who you really are, the consciousness that generates the flow of money. From early on, you were taught to fear money. They said it corrupts, that it's dangerous, that it distances you from the sacred. And so, even without realizing it, you learn to desire and reject at the same time. This contradiction vibrates inside millions of people, wanting to prosper and fearing to seem greedy. It's this conflict that blocks the flow. Most people believe money comes only from effort, sweat, struggle. This idea creates a vibration of scarcity disguised as merit, because when you believe you must suffer to receive, the universe understands suffering as part of the equation. And the quantum field, neutral as it is, simply responds, so be it. You can work for years, but if the feeling underneath is fear of losing, the field will keep reflecting absence, because money doesn't respond to the amount of action, but to the quality of emotion. That's why some prosper with ease, while others, even exhausted, remain trapped in lack. The mistake is not in wanting money, but in carrying shame for it. Shame vibrates lower than gratitude, and the field responds to vibration, not intentions. Many repeat, I don't care about money, yet live worried about bills. That's not detachment, it's denial. And the field doesn't flow through denial, but through acceptance. Another misconception is believing money is limited, that if someone has more, there's less left for you. This belief creates a vibrational competition, and the universe interprets it as distrust in the very flow. Abundance doesn't know scarcity. Only the separated mind believes in it. In the field, there is no lack, there is frequency. How many times have you felt guilty for desiring a comfortable life? As if the simple fact of wanting more were a sin? This guilt is what keeps the vibration of lack alive. Because while you believe you don't deserve, the field adjusts to that belief. It doesn't punish you, it merely obeys you. The real financial prison was never in the bills, but in the emotions attached to them. Fear, anxiety, self-sabotage, all of it is born from an old belief in unworthiness. And while that belief remains active, money keeps slipping through your fingers, not because it's missing, but because your vibration repels it. We've all believed this at some point. We've all confused worthiness with effort. But the universe doesn't reward exhaustion. It responds to coherence. And coherence is when what you feel, think, and do are aligned in the vibration of worthiness. Now is the moment to observe this old programming without guilt, because only what is seen can be transformed. The mistake doesn't define you. It only shows where your energy hasn't yet remembered its own power. Scarcity isn't real. It's a vibrational echo asking to be healed. And as you begin to recognize this, the field begins to change. Not because money decides to come, but because you stop resisting it. When the struggle ceases, the flow returns. And what used to be effort becomes attunement. This is the point where consciousness begins to awaken. Money is condensed vibration. It isn't solid, it is energy that molds itself according to the consciousness that observes it. Every coin, every bill, every number in an account is only a physical representation of an invisible field in motion. You don't earn money, You manifest the frequency that it recognizes. Quantum physics has already revealed everything is energy vibrating at different intensities. Money is no exception. It responds to the human emotional field the way an echo responds to sound. When you vibrate fear, it moves away. When you vibrate worthiness, it draws near. Money has no morality, only resonance. In the quantum universe, there is no absence, only vibrational disconnection. Scarcity is not a lack of resources, it is a lack of alignment, because the field of abundance is always active, ready to respond to your coherence. It doesn't need to be created, only accessed through the right vibration. When you say, "I don't have money," you're affirming an identity, and the field, obedient, replicates that information. But when you affirm, "I am abundance," something changes. The field responds not to words, but to the vibrational state behind them. It feels what you truly believe, not what you try to convince. Money is a vibrational mirror. It reflects how worthy you feel to receive it. It's not work that determines the amount. It's the vibration of self-value. That's why two people can do the same thing and get opposite results. One vibrates worthiness, the other vibrates lack. The field doesn't err, it only replicates. The quantum truth is simple. You don't attract what you want, you attract what you are. The universe doesn't respond to requests. It responds to frequencies. What you call desire, the field understands as vibration. And it is this vibration that collapses realities, shaping the invisible into form, thought into matter, intention into prosperity. As long as you seek money outside, it keeps mirroring your inner lack. But when you change the vibration, the field reorganizes everything to match you. This is the quantum collapse. The moment your consciousness alters the observed result. Money then ceases to be a goal and becomes a consequence. Nothing is more powerful than a human being conscious of their vibration. Because in that state, they don't need to ask, they emit. And the field, like a perfect mirror, returns it in the form of opportunities, synchronicities, and flow. Money begins to appear where there was once emptiness, not by miracle, but by vibrational coherence. Abundance is not a prize reserved for a few. It is a frequency available to all. The difference lies in tuning. Some vibrate fear, others vibrate gratitude. And the field, always neutral, simply reflects each of these choices. To prosper, then, is an act of remembering that you are part of the field that creates the very gold. Money doesn't come to those who work the hardest, but to those who most trust the flow. Because those who trust don't block, they only allow. And allowing is the verb of abundance. There is no greater achievement than realizing money was never the end. It is the reflection of awakened consciousness. From this point on, everything changes, because now you understand, money is not about having, it's about being. And when being aligns with the field of abundance, nothing can be missing. The flow simply recognizes you, and it flows. Science and spirituality have long spoken the same language, only with different vocabularies. Physics calls it the quantum field. The masters called it spirit. Both describe an invisible intelligence that permeates everything and responds to the consciousness that observes it. It is in this field that money also moves. Werner Heisenberg already said, "The observer influences the phenomenon observed." Joe Dispenza translated this into human language. Your mind is the command that instructs the field. What you think and feel about money is not just psychological, it's energetic. Each emotion sends a vibrational signal that the universe returns as experience. Greg Braden explains that the heart is an electromagnetic generator. It creates real, measurable waves that interact with the field. When you feel gratitude, the heart emits a vibrational signature of expansion. That's why, when you feel abundant, good things seem to flow. Energy responds to coherence between thought and emotion. Jesus taught the same principle in different language. To those who have, more will be given, and to those who have not, even what they have will be taken. He wasn't speaking of injustice, but of frequency. Those who vibrate I have attract more of that vibration. Those who vibrate I don't have multiply lack. Spiritual law and quantum physics dance to the same rhythm. When you repeat with emotion, "I can't pay my bills," the field records a vibrational pattern of powerlessness. The particles organize around that belief, materializing circumstances that confirm it. But if you uphold with faith, The universe always sustains me. The field reorganizes matter to prove this new truth. Quantum mechanics has shown that reality is not solid. It is a sea of possibilities awaiting a conscious intention. Money is one of those waves. It collapses into reality when your mind and heart vibrate in tune with abundance. Focus is the trigger that transforms potential into experience. Epigenetics also confirms this intelligence. Bruce Lipton demonstrated that our cells respond to emotional vibrations, even altering genetic patterns. If the body changes with feeling, imagine the external field. Each emotion is a frequency, and the universe, like a sensitive echo, merely returns what you emit. The ancients called it faith. Today we call it vibrational coherence. It is the same principle that Jesus, Buddha, and Lao Tzu expressed in different ways. External reality is a reflection of internal consciousness. Money, therefore, is neither cause nor effect. It is a vibrational translation of your state of being. When you live in gratitude, you activate brain and heart waves that generate harmony in the field. That harmony creates space for the flow. When you live in fear, you disorganize the field, creating noise and resistance. The universe doesn't distinguish good or bad. It only responds to the strongest signal you emit. The quantum field is like a liquid mirror. It reflects what stands before it without judgment. If you see yourself as small, it reflects scarcity. If you see yourself as prosperous, it reflects expansion. The secret was never to change the mirror, but to change the reflection. Money appears when the inner image vibrates confidence. Even prayer, when understood through this lens, is pure vibrational technology. When you pray believing you have already received, you are collapsing the desired reality. It's the same quantum mechanics expressed in spiritual language. Faith is emotional focus. You vibrate the result before seeing it, and the field responds. That's why manifesting prosperity is not a miracle. It's applied spiritual science. It is aligning mind, heart, and action in a single rhythm, the rhythm of abundance. When you feel what you affirm and act with trust, the field has no choice, and it must reorganize. Coherent vibration is a command of creation. The bridge between science and spirit is love, because love is the highest vibration in the universe and everything it touches expands. Money, when connected to this frequency, stops being tension and becomes flow. Abundance, then, is not a distant objective, but a state of communion between the invisible and the visible. When the mind understands and the heart believes, the field obeys. This is the symphony of manifestation. Faith is the conductor, emotion is the instrument, and money is only one of the notes that resound when everything is in harmony. And you are the composer of this melody. Imagine a river. It is born in silence, runs free, crosses stones, nourishes lands, reflects the sun. This river is the flow of abundance. It never stops, never dries up, never judges. It simply flows. But when someone tries to hold it with their hands, the water slips through their fingers. So it is with money, an energy that only remains when it circulates. The river doesn't ask who deserves to drink. It simply offers. It is the human ego that builds dams, believing that controlling the flow is the same as guaranteeing safety. But every attempt at control creates stagnation, and standing water rots. When you try to dominate money with fear, the flow breaks. Now imagine yourself inside this river. You can resist the current and grow tired, or you can lie back on it and allow the flow to carry you. Money flows the same way. When you relax, trust, and align, it leads you. When you struggle, fear, and tighten, it distances itself. Abundance doesn't come with force, it comes with surrender. The energy of money is like water. The more you try to hold it, the less you have. But when you share, when you allow movement, the river returns to you multiplied. Giving and receiving are not opposites. They are vibrational breathing. Inhaling is receiving, exhaling is offering. The balance of the flow lies in knowing how to move in both directions. Many build emotional dams, fear of losing, guilt for having, shame for desiring. These are the stones that divert the course of the inner river. The quantum field feels these barriers as vibrational noise and responds with scarcity, because the flow recognizes only those who trust. Fear is always a request for the water to stop. When you trust, the river gains strength. The current widens, the sound grows fuller, the glow becomes brighter. This is how the field responds to gratitude. Every thought of abundance is like opening invisible floodgates. Energy moves lightly and begins to touch every area of your life, not just money. The river doesn't need to chase the ocean. It is already part of it. The same applies to you. Money is not a destination to reach. It is the tide that responds to your vibration. When you realize the flow is inside, not outside, you stop swimming against the current and begin to sail with life. The metaphor deepens. The river passes through narrow and turbulent stretches, just like the moments when money seems to be lacking. But even in these points, the water continues to move. It doesn't disappear, it only changes form. In the same way, money never vanishes. It only changes frequency until it finds new coherence. Feel this image, the sound of water touching the stones, the sun warming your skin, the sense of peace in letting yourself be carried. This is the vibration of prosperity. It's not haste, it's trust. It's not control, it's attunement. The universe flows in constant abundance, and money is only one of the currents that pass through you. The secret is remembering that you are not the owner of the river, you are part of it. When you recognize this, you stop fearing scarcity, because you understand the flow is infinite and your role is only to remain clean, open, and in motion. When the river flows through you, the field responds. Here is a ready channel. And in that instant, money ceases to be a goal and becomes a natural consequence of inner fluidity. The river doesn't need to be taught to run. It simply follows gravity. You don't need to learn to prosper either. You only need to follow your highest vibration. The river of abundance doesn't need you to push it, only for you to stop resisting. Because the flow already exists, and the field already recognizes you. All that remains is to allow. And in this simple act of allowing, money returns to what it has always been, living, fluid, and abundant energy, running naturally through you. From now on, turn understanding into experience. Money doesn't respond to what you know, but to what you vibrate. That's why the practice begins within. Before you act, feel. Before you ask, align. The first step is to recognize that abundance is already present, even if not yet visible. Close your eyes and take a deep breath. Bring to mind the river's flow. Hear the sound of the water, the continuous movement. Now imagine that river crossing your chest, flowing freely. With each inhale, you receive. With each exhale, you give. This is the natural rhythm of prosperity, giving and receiving as one breath. Practice begins with gratitude. Every day, before sleeping, say softly, I am grateful for the money that circulates in my life. It doesn't matter how much. The field doesn't respond to the amount, it responds to the emotion. Gratitude changes the frequency instantly. Where there is gratitude, there is expansion. The second step is vibrational affirmation. In the face of any financial worry, breathe and repeat. I am the channel through which abundance flows. It's not just a phrase, it's a command to the field. The more you feel this truth, the more the universe reorganizes everything to confirm your vibration. The third step is conscious gesture. When you spend, bless the money that leaves. When you receive, celebrate what comes in. Each transaction is an energy exchange, a cycle of flow. By acting with awareness, you transform every payment into an act of trust. And the field understands there is coherence here. Another powerful practice is observation. During the day, notice your thoughts about money. When fear or scarcity appears, don't fight, just observe. Simple presence dissolves the pattern. The field reorganizes when you look at fear with love. What is illuminated by consciousness loses strength. You can create a small morning ritual. Place your hand over your heart and affirm, today, the flow of abundance moves through me with ease. Imagine a golden light expanding from your chest outward, connecting to the field. This image is more than symbolic. It is vibrational. The heart is the magnetic center of creation. Over time, you will notice money beginning to flow naturally. Opportunities arise, synchronicities happen. This isn't luck, it's attunement. The field recognizes those who vibrate without resistance. Prosperity is the echo of your coherence. And when this happens, don't think it was magic. It was you remembering who you have always been, a channel of abundant energy connected to the infinite flow of creation. Because money doesn't come when you chase it. It comes when you become the space through which it can flow. And when this happens, don't think it was magic. It was you remembering who you have always been, a channel of abundant energy connected to the infinite flow of creation. Because money doesn't come when you chase it. It comes when you become the space through which it can flow. Now, the veil begins to fall. Everything you believed about money dissolves before a simple truth. It was never outside. Money is only the visible shadow of an invisible vibration that is born within you. When that vibration changes, the shadow changes with it. It is consciousness that projects prosperity. You are not trying to attract something distant. You are remembering what you have always emitted. Abundance does not arrive. It awakens. It is like the sun rising from behind the clouds. It has always been there, only waiting for you to stop looking at the shadow. Money is the reflection of the sun that rises within your field. The point of liberation happens when you understand that money does not define you, but mirrors you. If you vibrate love, it flows lightly. If you vibrate fear, it hides. But the power to change this dance has always been in your hands, or rather in your heart. The quantum field obeys your vibrational identity. You're not lacking in resources. You are a source of creation. Everything that exists of abundance, fluidity, and expansion is already within you. The universe is not testing your faith. It is responding to your frequency. Each time you choose to trust, the field opens a little more. Each time you vibrate gratitude, the flow widens. The revelation is clear. Money is not the end. It is the reflection of your expanded consciousness. To prosper is to remember your creative power. When you vibrate worthiness, the universe echoes, yes. When you vibrate love for your own value, the field bends to serve you. It is in this instant that the struggle ends and the flow begins. Awakened consciousness does not ask, when will the money come, but affirms, I already vibrate abundance now. Because time is not a line, it is a field. And in this field, everything you seek already exists. Money is just one of the ways the universe shows you how much you recognize yourself. Breathe. Feel the silence after the revelation. Money is no longer an enemy nor a prize. It is part of the same field that sustains you. There is no more race, only flow. Everything that seemed distant begins to align when you abandon the struggle and allow the universe to move through you. Notice the lightness that arises when consciousness reconnects to abundance. It is a state of peace, not of pursuit. Prosperity ceases to be a goal and becomes a natural extension of your being. You don't need to prove yourself worthy. You already are. The field only reflects this remembrance. Now, each thought of gratitude becomes a seed in the field. Each act of generosity, a wave that expands the collective flow. You are part of a vibrational web where every act of abundance reverberates infinitely. And the more you share, the more the universe returns, multiplied. Close your eyes once more. Feel the river's flow running again within you. It doesn't need to be controlled. It simply flows. And in this flowing, money stops being a worry and becomes a presence. The field responds to your state, and your state now is trust. The vibration of wealth is not a destination, it is a return. It is the moment you remember that nothing was ever lacking. Abundance has always been here, waiting for your silent yes. Because when you say, I allow, the universe says, I deliver. Now, make this instant a ritual. Place your hand over your heart and repeat in a gentle voice. I vibrate at the frequency of abundance. Allow each word to become living energy. Feel the field respond. It is not just any affirmation. It is a vibrational decree that opens the flow of prosperity. Write in the comments, I vibrate abundance. This simple gesture is more than engagement. It is an energetic anchor. Every word written creates a wave in the field, connecting you to all who vibrate at the same frequency. Together, we form a current of expansion that crosses borders and elevates consciousness. Share this video with someone who still lives in the vibration of fear. Be the channel through which the flow expands. When you share, abundance moves. When you inspire another to believe, the universe returns it to you twofold. Energy never stops. It only changes hands. And if you feel ready to deepen this connection, I left a special piece of content in the link in the description. It is a material created to guide you in the daily practice of vibrational reprogramming and conscious financial manifestation. It will help you transform this awakening into a continuous experience of prosperity. Now breathe. Feel the silent field enveloping you. The vibration of wealth is here, and it recognizes who you are. You are not asking, you are allowing. And in this instant, the entire universe moves to remind you, abundance is already yours.